back out here working on the Genesis today. I just put the throttle cable on right here. I don't have a hole in the firewall yet or a gas pedal or anything, so we're just gonna get a little pull action here just to show you it does what it. That way we got some throttle. We can give her some gas. I got to fix these O2 sensor wires. They actually got up on the header on the 92. So I'm gonna fix them, hook the O2 sensor up, and see if I can get it to crank up my idle, and go from there. Alright, so I'm about to try to crank it when I hook the laptop up. I got the pipe on the driver's side. I got it back to here at least. That's just to help the O2 sensor be able to read the air fuel mixture. You don't want it to just open right after the O2 sensor, otherwise you get a false reading. So I just put that pipe on there, that way it'll have a little bit better chance of actually tuning it a little bit, because I'd like to try to get it to idle. Now that's my plan now. So I'm gonna get the laptop hooked up to it and see if I can't get it to spin over and idle. Alright, so I was working on the Genesis the other day. Couldn't get it to run, couldn't get it to hit. Acts like it's not getting fuel. The air fuel ratio is just pegged out on lean. I pulled the cam sensor out. I thought that was going to be it, because it actually wore a groove in the cam sensor where the cam gear, the little notches on it, has been hitting it. So I've replaced the cam sensor, got it spaced out correctly now, but it's still not wanting to crank. What I'm getting is right here. These are your diagnostic lights, and I don't know how well. Okay, so you have number 7 and number 6 here. So number 6 is the crank sensor, number 7 is the cam sensor. When the lights here, the color code on them, the blue is when the engine's not run, or it's below running RPM and there's a gap, which on your reluctor ring on the crank you have little teeth that are around it. That's where you get the 58X versus the 24X on these LS's, and that's on the crank side, on the crankshaft, on the reluctor ring. On the camshaft, you have either 1X or 4X. 58X reluctor ring goes with the 4X cam gear. 24X reluctor ring goes with the 1X cam gear. So the blue light means it's in the gap, the green means it's on a tooth. So when you manually spin this over, you can see that the lights change. See, now they're both blue, they're both on the gap. So the crank sensor, or the crank light, is going to change a lot more than the cam, because it's 58 versus 4. So when you manually turn it over, it does like it's supposed to. The lights change. You know, you're getting crank and cam signal. But for whatever reason, when I try to spin it over on the starter, it's been changing this crank sensor light to red, showing that it's a crank sensor error. But it's got a new crank sensor, and now it has a new cam sensor. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that. Could be a default in the new sensor, but it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So I just pulled it off and checked it. I'm gonna try it again and see if it does anything different this time. Hopefully, maybe it was just I didn't have the plug all the way in. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Let's see if these lights change like they're supposed to. So like I said, it did go red again. So maybe it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's a defect in the crank sensor. Maybe I need to swap it out for another one. But it's not gonna fire until we get that code figured out. All right, so after 3 weeks of fighting this damn car, I finally got it to run again. It ended up, apparently Holley Computers doesn't like aftermarket sensors. So got an AC Delco camshaft sensor put in it, and it fired right up. So we got it loaded up. I am gonna take it to O'Reilly's. I got to get a belt and figure out some hoses. I'm just gonna take the car to work with me, take it up there, and just try to figure out a hose setup that'll work, and go from there. I feel like it's easier to just take it out there. I gotta go out there anyway. I will just take it out there and have the car with me, get the hoses I need and the belt I need, and be done. I don't have to, try to buy 20 different hoses that probably won't work. So, but hopefully that'll be a good next step. Come on now. There we go. Automatic winders there. But we'll see. All right, so we made it back from the parts store, the Genesis. We ended up, it's not perfect, but it'll work at least to get it to where I can make sure everything works and all. I got the bottom hose on, got the top hose on, I got a belt. I gotta fix this bracket here. It's hitting the crank pulley and eating that up. The compressor, I've got to make another bracket to go up under here to hold this tight. But other than that, that's about it on the pulley system. I do have to trim that off so the factory fan will go back in. I still got to mount this. Not exactly sure where I'm going to put it yet. But I think that's all I did yesterday. Did do a little bit of wiring, not a whole lot. I gotta put a switch in for the main power. That way I don't have to open the hood to crank it every time, because right now I just stick the wire to a hot post somewhere. But I do got a switch to put in there. Just got to wire it up. And still got to figure out the gas pedal. And try to clean up some more of this wiring and all. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll have another update video coming out soon.